False attitudes!
I've seen very good times at Margate when a lot of people come here for holidays. On the beach, we had amusements, we had hotels. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of that, like many other seaside towns, but it is beginning to change. It's coming back.
I didn't realise up until how recently people with a learning disability were still locked away in institutions.
Say in a big, well, home or something like that.
So up until the 1970s, you didn't see people with learning disabilities. So actually, it's quite a new thing for the public to actually see somebody with a learning disability. So that, to me, is why the older generation don't know how to cope. Mm. Whereas for some of us that have grown up having a friend with a learning disability in the class, when we were at school, it's no different to anybody else.
If you were in the west of Ireland, people wouldn't even think about this. They would actually, you're just somebody who lives in the village or whatever, who might struggle with something.
Yes, I made one. I made one.
They never saw it. If they had a child with a disability, they were taken away immediately after birth, and quite often they never saw them again. Or if they did, it was something to be ashamed of. So I think it's part of society's learning process.
Westgate, I think, isn't there a school or somewhere more at Westgate? They seem to have more, I think, at Westgate than what we have.
Historically, from what I found out, people they set up the special schools near the sea and the children's homes near the sea because they thought it would be good for children to be moved out of central London and out of the towns to the seaside.
Years ago, say 50 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, what would have happened to these sort of people without these centres?
Things changed and people with disabilities were asked to move into smaller homes with families, bringing people out of somewhere, taking them into the normal community. That has happened. I think first, a lot of people thought, oh, this is wrong, people shouldn't be wandering the streets who have a problem and so on. Why shouldn't they? They're normal people. Yeah. You might have something a little bit wrong, but mixed with normal people, and that's got to help that person. Yeah. It really has, or should. It should.
Yeah, this is your answer. He's got it right in time.
Your generation.
Do you think your community is ready to include people with learning disability?
I would like to think it was. However, we've got quite an elderly population where I live, and the older population tend to be more resilient to change, unfortunately. As I say, I think it's the change and the fear of the unknown puts a lot of people off.
Education, we've got quite a few that come in to see us. Personally, I have no worry about speaking to them, but I suppose some people don't. I don't know, as I say. As I say, I mean, we never cure personally ourselves.
We get sometimes they come in and they ask questions, where the books are and stuff like that. So they can find their own way around. They generally got carers which also included jokes
if they're really
the very older age group don't like to see change. And that can be difficult sometimes. We can all understand that, but things have to move on. We've got children of our own who want to see better things, so sometimes they're a little bit difficult. You've got to try and win them over to the way the modern day works.
Sometimes they're a little bit slower, aren't they? You have to sort of explain things to them. Or together.
People with a learning disability care about their own community as much as everyone else. But in the past, a lot of our views were ignored. People were hidden from society. Now our opinions and wishes should be treated equally. But the public still struggle with acceptance.